We have created the most confused generation of men in human history. Half of them think masculinity is toxic, and the other half think emotions are toxic. Some think being a man means dominating everyone around you. Others think it means apologizing for existing. Here's the truth. Being a man in 2025 isn't about choosing between being a caveman or a doormat. It's about being something much more powerful. And if you're a man watching this video, or woman, you've probably felt the confusion. You've been told that traditional masculinity is toxic, but you've also seen what happens when men become weak and directionless. You are caught between a culture that demonizes strength and a culture that worships it without wisdom. Today, I'm going to cut through all the noise and tell you exactly what it means to be a man in 2025. Not what the extremes want you to believe, but what actually works in the real world. I'm going to start by being honest about where we are. We have men who think masculinity means never showing emotion, never asking for help, and treating everyone like a threat. This isn't masculinity, this is insecurity wearing a mask. We have men who think being a good man means apologizing for their strength, their ambition, or their natural drive. This isn't enlightenment. This is self-destruction. We have men who are so afraid of being called toxic that they've become invisible. They don't lead. They don't speak up. They don't take risks. They've confused being harmless with being good. And we have men who are so angry at the world that they have become exactly what they fear about masculinity: bitter, resentful, and destructive. None of these are what it means to be a man. They are all reactions to confusion, not responses to clarity. The truth is, being a man in 2025 requires something that both extremes are missing, and that's wisdom. Here's what it actually means to be a man in 2025. See, a man in 2025 is emotionally intelligent, not emotionally numb. He feels deeply, processes healthfully, and isn't controlled by his emotion. He can cry when he needs to and still make hard decisions when he has to. A man in 2025 is strong, but not aggressive. He has the capacity for force, but chooses restraint. He can protect what matters without destroying what doesn't threaten him. A man in 2025 takes responsibility without taking blame for everything. He owns his choices, his reactions, his life, but he doesn't carry the weight of everyone else's problems on his shoulders. A man in 2025 leads through service, not domination. He doesn't need to be the loudest voice in the room. He earns respect through competence, character, and consistency. A man in 2025 is confident without being arrogant. He knows his worth without needing to prove to everyone. He's secure enough to admit when he's wrong and strong enough to change when he needs to. A man in 2025 protects without controlling. He creates safety for others without suffocating them. He's a shield, not a cage. A man in 2025 builds others up without tearing himself down. He can celebrate other people's success without feeling diminished. He can support others without losing himself. A man in 2025 has principles that don't change with the culture. He knows what he stands for and why. He's not blown by every new trend or opinion. A man in 2025 is both gentle and fierce. Gentle with those who need protection, fierce against those who threaten what he loves. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. It's about choosing who you want to be instead of just reacting to what the world tells you to be. The key here is balance. It's understanding that strength and sensitivity aren't opposites, they're partners. You can be tough and tender, firm and flexible, strong but vulnerable, confident but humble. The men who are thriving in 2025 aren't the ones who have chosen one extreme or the other. They're the ones who have learned to integrate both sides of their nature. They're strong enough to be gentle. They don't need to prove their toughness by being harsh. They're confident enough to be vulnerable. They don't need to hide their humanity to maintain their authority. They're secure enough to serve. They don't need to dominate to feel powerful. They're wise enough to know when to fight and when to walk away. They don't confuse every disagreement with a battle. This is what the world needs from men in 2025. Not toxic masculinity, not weak masculinity, integrated masculinity. Men who are fully human and fully strong. Here's a challenge for every man or woman watching this, but obviously for the men. Stop letting other people define what masculinity means for you. Whether they're telling you to be more aggressive or more passive, stop giving them power. Start defining it for yourself based on what actually works. What builds strong relationships? What creates lasting success? What makes you a man others can count on? Stop choosing between strength and kindness. Choose both. The world needs a man who is strong enough to be kind and kind enough to be strong. Stop apologizing for your nature. You were designed to be strong, to lead, to protect, and to build. Don't apologize for that. Just do it with wisdom. And stop trying to be the man everyone else wants you to be. Be the man you were called to be. The man your family needs. The man your community needs. The man the world needs. Being a man in 2025 isn't about choosing sides in a culture war. It's about rising up above the noise and becoming the kind of man that makes the world better by existing in it. Strong, but not toxic. Gentle, but not weak. Confident, but not arrogant. Emotional, but not unstable. If this message resonated with you, share it with someone. Share it with another man who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more content that will help you become the man you're meant to be. Daily videos. Remember, you don't have to choose between being strong and being good. You can be both. Lead with conviction. Until next time.